Axel Gimenez has given us hope for some additional Snakeman themed figures to be released for the MOTU Origins line, so is Mattel setting the stage to fully build out the Snakeman, Preternia, and the powers of Grayskull? And before we dive into the episode, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you can be alerted to the latest reviews, news, and episodes when they drop. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael, and with me is my collector in crime, Larry. Now, this past week, Mattel revealed new stretch goal tiers for the Eternia playset that have tie-ins to Preternia, and last month, Axel Gimenez posted some Snakeman themed concepts to his Instagram page that were held over from the MOTU Classics line, and it got us thinking it would be amazing to see some of these concepts come to fruition for the MOTU Origins line.
Yeah, these are kind of my favorite thing is just the random posts that that you don't know whether they actually mean anything, if they're kind of like a second level Easter egg kind of thing of, hey, here's some stuff we're trying to talk about, maybe working into the line. But I always love, kind of speculating on these things and looking at all the different things that are out there. So
Yeah, there's a lot out there, and there's a lot that's been unproduced. And if you have the character compendium, like they could go for decades making these characters.
that'd be fine.
Yeah. And I know a lot of viewers comment that they want to see the Origins line finish out before we get to new characters, but if they go deep into another subline, that's a fun way to see the line continue for many years to come.
It is, and I think the scary thing about like if they finish out kind of the core characters, then you kind of have maybe a lot of collectors kind of jump ship a little bit,
Yeah.
because just well, I got everybody I want, so I'm kind of done. Just because I think there are a lot of collectors that want kind of that active collecting of the line. So if you still have things that you're seeking, then there's reason to continue to collect and maybe get some of those things that you didn't even know you wanted before it was made.
Yeah. Totally. All right, let's kick things off with an all-time favorite that actually made it into the classics line with Fangor.
Yeah, we've talked about this one several times, but to me, I feel like we got to keep talking about him
Yeah.
until he gets made in Origins. I didn't get him in Classics, and because I'd stopped collecting the line by then, and he's such a cool character, and I think he would be awesome in Origins.
Oh, he totally would. Yeah, he would be amazing to see in that book, especially with those long teeth. And he's our resident Snake Man mechanic with all of his tools and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, he's kind of got that snout spout kind of vibe as far as like the tools and stuff, which is an odd thing, but that's what Motu's all about. I think is those random kind of things like that, and he's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're making new tooling for all the Snake Men, they might as well throw him in there too.
Yeah, yeah, I think he'd be cool. I mean, he'd be an awesome Masterverse figure too, but
Oh
I'd
yeah.
really get him in Origins. I just think that the way they're kind of fleshing out the line and trying to really get into the Snake Men side of things right now, I think he'd be a really cool addition. And just like to see how they would handle like the teeth and just all the different aspects.
Yeah, no, he would look amazing in an Origins buck, and there weren't many Snake Men figures in the vintage line, so we need some more to kind of build up that Snake Man army.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the thing is, I like the idea of some of the army builders that we're going to talk about, but I like the named characters too, and I think we need some more. I mean, if you think about the Horde, there's quite a few, Horde characters, and I
Yeah.
think seeing them build out the Snake Men even more would be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And this next concept builds off of the Neptu character from MOTU Classics, who pledged his life to King Hiss during the second Ultimate Battleground. And this one had a cool name to it, too.
Yeah, I think I'd never even seen this until we started kind of looking through this stuff, and it's like seeing this guy is like he's a perfect a perfect fit for the Snakeman line,
Yeah.
just because like it's kind of that like a snake priest, and I think we saw the names like snake priest or Pythonus was what we found, and I don't know if that was a fan made name or if that's the name Axel gave him or if that's a name from some other a comic or something somewhere. I don't know where that came from, but But I think he's a super cool character because that's a part of the Snakeman that we don't have any
Yeah.
kind of like like a priest character or like a magical being or something like that. So it's a cool kind of different side of it.
Yeah, he'd kind of be like the right hand man, like Evelyn is to Skeletor, right? He'd be the right hand man to King Hiss.
Yeah, I kind of see him or like Shadow Weaver is
Yeah.
to Hordak. It's kind of that same kind of side role where they're kind of the creepy mage off to the side or whatever. So yeah, he'd be cool.
Yeah, he definitely looked great, and yeah, it's funny because he's a normal human in classics, and this totally transforms him into one of the Snake Men.
Yeah, yeah, it does. And I love the way the headdress, the headpiece,
Uh-huh.
kind of contrasts against the green snake skin and that scepter that he has, or
Oh,
or I don't know if it'd be a wand because it's a little bit big for a wand. It
yeah,
looks more like a mace wand or something,
can
but
club
it's super
somebody over
cool.
the head with it.
Yeah, yeah, but I think it's awesome, and I love that kind of stuff is those new like unique weapons and accessories and stuff.
Oh yeah, he'd be great, and yeah, I think they definitely have the bio for him, so they could build out his storyline as well.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do. I mean, I think you could, um, you could come up with several new, mini comics just based around each of these characters we're talking about. So
Yeah, would love to see this guy. And then I think you were mentioning army builders early on, and yeah, I think it would be amazing to see these snake minions offered as singles or multiple army builder packs would be awesome.
yeah, yeah, I think we're game for whatever they want to do on these. I think you got a couple different kind of armor types, maybe some different head sculpts, few weapons thrown in there, a little bit of paint app change, and to me these would be pretty easy to make, and they would be big sellers.
Oh,
I
totally.
don't think they have any trouble moving them. I don't. You could probably do them as a Mattel Creations exclusive, and just make a bunch of them. I
Yeah.
don't know if just double production on what you usually do, and because I think people would want two to four of them maybe,
Yeah.
depending on how many other Snake Men we're getting.
Yeah, especially with Eternia hopefully coming out and that gets funded, but in the Eternia playset Dio at SDCC 2022, it had a lot of just Snake Man customs, and I think Pixel Dan was talking to a rep over there that said that we would have more Snake Men to shake that we can shake a stick at for the Origins line, so could be definitely possible.
Yeah, yeah, I love hearing stuff like that. I mean, I think the fact that they had the random Snake Men kind of customs thrown in the booth there, I think that's cool. I like seeing even if those are unnamed
Yeah.
characters, I don't care. We don't have to have the same thing that classics did. I think you can do a lot of different cool things, just different head sculpts and coloring and stuff. So, but yeah, I definitely like to see these built out. Because to me, if you think about, when you get to the end of this line, if you've got Horde troopers, of course, for the Horde, and you've got the Skeleton Warriors coming out at some point to kind of go along with the Skeletor's minions, and then you need some of these just like Snakeman army builders too, and man, you could, if you have that stuff surrounding like Eternia
Oh
or
wow.
Grayskull and Snake Mountain and different things, you can really have really cool battle scenes and different things. And it's to me, it's making the vintage line, but even on a grander scale, and it's cool.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I would love to see that. And I hope that comes true because they have all of the parts to make probably any wacky, weird, or army builder snake man that you can imagine. I think just kind of going back to something that you were saying just around like, if they build out all the origins line and we have these left in, it's like they could probably mix in, standard characters from the origins line that have not been produced yet and, kind of include these in future waves.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's a way to just continue to get figures out there as long as people want them, and
Yeah.
I think that people are really enjoying this line, and I think it seems like even with Masterverse and with the Netflix CGI series, it all seems to be doing okay right now
Yeah.
as far as existing, you know, like coexisting, all three lines and all the other stuff going on too. So I think that there's still a future for a lot more waves of origins.
Yeah, there's a lot of MOTU going on. And next up, we have Slamurai. And this is a character that was kind of based off of the Ninjor concept, and so this would be a pretty easy one to do for them. It's basically a straight up Ninjor repaint.
Yeah, yeah, and I think once again, just throw just something in a mini comic about him, just to give him his own kind of his own bio and things that's kind of fleshed out a little bit, and that's enough, and they don't have to do a lot. It's just a paint change, really. Maybe an accessory or two that they'd need different, but yeah, he's cool, and another cool, another fun one to have on the shelf.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and he's has a tie into a character that we're going to be talking about later because he frees him from a spell from Lady Slither, but we won't spoil who that is yet. But yeah, it's just interesting to see a lot of these characters just have tie-ins to Preternia, the Snakeman, and the powers of Grayskull.
Yeah, yeah, I love all that stuff as far as kind of pulling all the pieces of the different timelines together and the different factions and stuff. And man, if they could do glow in the dark eyes, I mean, I don't see it happening just because like they're small enough. I don't even know if you'd notice,
Yeah.
but that would be such a cool little detail because he looks like Scorpion from the Mortal Kombat
Oh, he
games.
does.
He kind of gives me that vibe there, and I think that would be so cool. But
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and we need some heroes to go along with the Snake Man. So yeah.
yeah, definitely. Then this is just one that could get out there and kind of build out that hero side.
Yes, and I have a horde shelf and I have kind of like a mini comic battle scene going on, and so like if they actually built this out, I'd have to get another shelf for all the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's fun. It's cool when you have like you can get an entire like battle scene or a whole shelf that's kind of centered around that theme. I like that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. All right, next up is Bandwidth, and he was unofficially planned to be a Preternia character, so it's definitely he's an oddball character, but would be awesome to see him in the line.
yeah, yeah, he's kind of he looks like maybe you could come up with some parts from other figures, of course, but he's got some unique sculpt to him as well, and kind of a unique color scheme. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of that kind of teal color in Motu. So I think it's something that would make him stand out. And he just has a cool look. He looks like a knight, but also kind of robotic and just some kind of cool elements.
Oh yeah, he's awesome, and yeah, it's like he has that dial in his chest, and I'm not really sure what he's tuning into, but it's just interesting to see just also his backstory because he is the person that eventually became Manny Faces too.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that kind of stuff is cool. I don't know how much of it turns into like official
Yeah.
storyline that they would use in Origins, but I think all that stuff is fun, seeing all the background. So
Oh, it definitely is. And next up is Red Shadow, who was a former baddie turned goodie, and he was recruited by Vina, who is King Grayskull's wife, to fight and protect Preternia. Very cool concept that Axel came up with.
yeah, he's kind of like a wolf, like a werewolf kind of character, and I think that's something cool that there's not a lot of kind of that side of things for Motu. So I think that would be kind of cool. He's got kind of a Stratos color scheme a
Yeah.
little bit, but definitely has those kind of wolf qualities about him. And I don't know whether like if that would be a cool like mask piece that he wears that just fits on over a face, or if that's his actual face, because it's really creepy looking to me. Like it has like a kind of like a pig look or
Yeah.
something, but I don't know. It's kind of creepy though.
Yeah, it'd be neat to see that as a removable mask and something that is pressure fit so we don't get the huge slit in the head like Katra did for her Masterverse figures.
Yeah, we don't need any more of those.
No. But yeah, I know I could totally see either the like Zodak buck or the Stratos buck being used for this one because they're both kind of hairy.
Yeah, yeah, and once again, he's got the weird like leg warmer
Yeah,
calf cover things.
got to keep those warm, right?
I guess, yeah, he's not worried about his feet, but those calves, you gotta keep those nice and warm. So
Yeah, it's kind of a throwback to the 80s. So yeah.
yes, definitely.
All right, and next up we have another cool concept from Axel called the Great Black Wizard, and this is a skull-faced sorcerer who gave Snakeface the power to turn his victims into stone, and the creator of the magical half-human, half-dragon Drago Man. And he also fought alongside the Horde, the Snakeman, Skeleton, and the Unnamed One.
Yeah, he's just all up in all the bad side,
Yeah,
right? Like he's just or anybody bad, I'm right there, but he's cool. He's to me it's funny because he looks like a wizard version of Skeletor,
yeah.
but I think he's got his own kind of look to him too, and I think he'd be really cool, a cool figure to get out there. And of course I'm all for anything that gets the name Drago Man out there for
Yes.
Origins because maybe you can make him and then well we've got the dude that made Drago Man, now we need Drago Man. So
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I would love to see some wings come out
yep.
in the Origins line. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, I mean this figure looks really cool. I mean, of course these are the classics bucks, but I love that helmet that he has too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do too. I actually like both styles of both of these customs as far as what they did. The one's a little more like tall and circular, and the one on the right here is kind of got that like an oval shape to it. But I think either one of them work, and I think it's cool that this one on the right here has the kind of the tie-in. It's almost the same feel of the staff,
Oh
and
yeah.
kind of that piece on his helmet has that same kind of look to it. And I actually like that little bit of lighter, kind of like almost white skin color. I think that's a really cool look because it's almost like a flesh and bone kind of,
Hmm.
color, and I think that's cool.
Oh, I like that. That's cool. Yeah, and I think you can also see some of the armor that they could possibly reuse for a lot of the Snake Men figures that we've talked about earlier. It's like you can just amazing that they can mix and match all these parts and just come up with totally new characters.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what Motu's all about, and I think that's what makes it fun, and I hope that they do some of that to kind of get some new characters out there to really keep the line going.
I hope so too. And next up we have Gladiator, who served King Grayskull in Preternia, and he also met the disguised traveling He-Man.
Yeah, and he's cool. I think he's got that that kind of roboto feel a little bit, but also kind of maybe some like night qualities. But then he's got a rifle, so I mean he's just different. He feels almost like a New Adventures character, but I don't know. There's just a lot of like unique things about him, and I think the color scheme is really cool with like the that kind of gold and silver and like a metallic teal blue kind of thing. I think it all looks really good together.
Yeah, and I think just looking at how he could be pieced together, I think they have all of the parts to do it except for the head sculpts. Maybe a little bit of new armor pieces, but he kind of reminds like a cross between a Eternian Palace Guard, a Horde Trooper, King Grayskull. I mean, it's again like the mashup of all this stuff looks totally brand new, and you would never know that they're reusing all these parts.
Right. To me, some of these maybe you just need a new torso, maybe you just need a new head sculpt. And I think that's what's fun about it is like you're saying, when you change, kind of change it and fit all this stuff together, you don't notice that it's from the different characters. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, he looks cool, and yeah, would definitely love to see him in more of a scaled down Origins version too. Would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't know how they would handle that. That kind of looks like it'd be like a glowing piece in the middle. I think you could do something to I don't know what I want him to do there, but I think that could be a cool part of him as well.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that too. I was like, huh, I wonder if they could make that glowing or make his face mask glowing or just like certain parts of him, like when I don't know if those would be glow in the dark pieces. It'd probably cost them a ton to put LEDs in there, and they would never do that.
Yeah, I wonder if they could do something like like the light piping
Oh
and things
yeah.
that we've seen on like Soundwave in the Transformers line, where and I think I'm trying to think if they've ever done any of that in Motu, but
Yeah, they
but
did it. They did it on the Rise of Evil 2 pack with one of the Skeletor heads
yeah, yeah,
to
there
to
you
make
go.
his eyes glow red.
Kind of glow.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I think there's different things you might be able to find a way to do that. I don't know if it'd be just right, you'd have to maybe position him in a certain way, but I think that'd be a cool way to handle it.
Yeah, it would definitely be cool. And next up, we have Rajar, who is a 6-arm powerful ally of the Snake Man.
Yeah, I never really saw him even when I was collecting classics. I don't think I ever saw anything of him somehow. But he's probably my most wanted like off the wall custom that was like close to being made.
Uh,
Like I think he's just such a cool character. I love the six arms, and I think he'd be a cool addition for that heroic side because he's just like he's I don't know, he's just got a different look to him with all the colors and stuff.
yeah.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah, no, he looks great, and yeah, he's another baddie turned goodie. So he's
Yeah.
yeah. This was the character we were referring to earlier that Slamurai kind of freed from Lady Slither's trance and turned him good. So yeah, I would love to see all of the like a buck that they would use just to plug in all those arms would be amazing.
Yeah, it really would. And if you think about it, if they made that, they could potentially. So what I would think would be cool is if they found a way to do it where just the regular Origins arms would snap on.
Hmm.
I'm not sure, like looking at it like sculpt wise, if you could get it to look this good, because to me, the arms might look kind of like short
Yeah.
because of where they got to sit on his back. But I think it could still look pretty cool. But also, you could probably turn around and use that same torso in a 2000X version of WebStore,
Oh yeah.
and kind of build out that, a little bit more of that, like that extra leg, spider leg coming off his
Hmm.
back thing,
Yeah.
so I think there's cool options for other stuff you could do with it too.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and definitely an interesting look at the character too. It's one of the more unique characters, just from a head sculpt and just body sculpt perspective too.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I just he would look super cool, and I like the swords, and I don't know, he looks like a Motu figure,
Yeah, he
like he
does.
looks like somebody that should be in the line. So
Yeah. All right. Well, let's make them.
yeah, let's do it.
All right. And last up, we have the snake lair, and this would be a really cool concept. So something similar size to maybe the Fright Zone or the Slime Pit. Nothing as grand as Eternia because we don't need another $600 playset.
No, no, probably not. But I do think just a yeah, a little bit smaller scale place that would be pretty
Yeah.
cool. The yeah, I think something like that Fright Zone size, or the Slime Pit, something smaller that's just kind of extra, like the stuff that, like, that they did for GI Joe, where it's like the Watchtower
Hmm.
or the Cobra Bunker size things, where it's like just a small extra, just extra, like, thing for building out your display. I think that those are cool. So I think you could do a lot of different things with this.
Yeah, and this was another concept that was held over from the classics line, and so I think somebody had made a custom of this, and the size looks great. I mean, it's in scale with all the Origins figures,
Yeah.
and it's not going to take up that footprint that Eternia would. So I mean, it would be very cool to see this be made.
Yeah, I agree, because it's kind of got that, it has like a Castle Grayskull kind of look to it.
Yeah.
So I think you could potentially, if they did it in the same colors as Grayskull, you might be able to do a thing where you open up Grayskull, open this up, and you've got like a four-sided castle. You just got different sides of it. So a lot of different ways you could kind of do something with this. So it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's kind of like a stronghold for the Snakeman, and
Yep.
if they can mold this and produce it at a reasonable price, like the original Castle Grayskull from for the Origins line, I think that'd be a huge seller because I think people love the Snakeman and they just want everything that they could possibly get for the Snakeman.
Yeah, I do too. I think if you started doing a bunch of this stuff, then you would probably start seeing sales decline on them as you went forward. But yeah, I just think that, some of these like mid-level large play sets are cool, and you could probably get this maybe 109.99, 129.99, and I think on a Mattel Creations
Yeah,
thing, or another crowdfunded thing, this would be something I would back. Something just not quite so grand as
yeah,
what Eternia is. It's a little bit toned down, I guess, but
yeah.
still really cool.
Oh yeah, it's definitely cool. Yeah, I love the way that this person just made just it feel just really old, and it looks like this castle could be crumbling at every second. But it's got a huge like snake head in the gate opening, and I love the like lookout tower that King Hiss is perched on.
Yeah, I do too. That's really cool. I feel like it needs to have more little like cracks and crevices with like snakes popping
Oh,
out
that'd be cool.
because I think that would kind of add to that Snakeman vibe, and I think that'd be a cool little thing they could do with it too. But yeah, I like that. I like the kind of grated door or whatever, and yeah, really cool elements to this.
Yes. All right. So let us know your thoughts on these concepts and if you think these will actually come to fruition for the MOTU Origins line in the comments below. I'm Michael,
And I'm Larry.
and thanks for tuning into Toy Habits.